Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between green hills, lived a young girl named Tena. At 20 years old, she was a sight to behold, with long, flowing chestnut hair that shimmered under the sunlight and eyes that were as green as the rolling fields. She had a soft voice and a gentle smile that could melt anyone's heart, yet there was something about her quiet strength that made her stand out. Tena's family wasn't rich, but they were rich in love. They lived in a modest cottage, surrounded by the beauty of nature. Her father was a hard-working farmer, and her mother kept the home warm with love and care. Despite their humble means, Tena felt safe and happy within the walls of her home, surrounded by the people who loved her most. Yet, despite the love that enveloped her life, Tena had always felt a yearning inside her, longing for something more. She would often sit by the window of her little room, staring out at the horizon, imagining a life beyond the fields and quiet streets of the village. She had always dreamt of adventure, of experiencing the world beyond the confines of her small world. She longed for a love that was as deep and intense as the stories in her books, a love that would sweep her off her feet. One day, while she was walking through the village market, something extraordinary happened. The air was filled with the laughter of children, the vibrant chatter of vendors selling fruits, vegetables, and handmade goods. It was a beautiful afternoon, and Tena was lost in the colors and sounds of the market. She didn't expect what was about to change her life forever. As she walked past a stall selling apples, her gaze met that of a tall, handsome young man. He was standing there, his eyes focused on the fruit in front of him. But the moment their eyes met, time seemed to stand still. The young man's name was Aaron. He was tall, with strong, chiseled features and jet black hair that tousled in the wind. His eyes were dark and full of mystery, yet they held a warmth that made anyone who met him feel at ease. He had an undeniable charisma, a kind of charm that made everyone around him feel like they were the most important person in the room. Aaron came from an affluent family, his parents owning vast lands that stretched for miles. They lived in a grand mansion on the outskirts of the village, surrounded by opulence and luxury. Yet, despite all his wealth, Aaron felt an emptiness inside him, a longing for something he couldn't quite understand. When their eyes met, Tena felt an electric shock run through her. She wasn't sure what it was, but there was something undeniable about the way he looked at her. It was as if he could see into her soul, and somehow, it felt like she had known him for a lifetime. They exchanged pleasantries, and before she knew it, they had spent the entire afternoon talking and laughing, as if they had known each other forever. Tena found herself drawn to Aaron in a way that was both exhilarating and terrifying. He was everything she had imagined in a partner: intelligent, adventurous, and passionate. Aaron, on the other hand, found himself captivated by Tena's pure heart, her unshakable determination, and the fire in her eyes when she spoke about her dreams. Days turned into weeks, and their bond only grew stronger. They would meet in secret, spending hours talking about their lives, their dreams, and their desires. Their connection was undeniable, and as time passed, they both realized they were falling in love with each other. But, as with all great love stories, there were obstacles that neither of them could have foreseen. Aaron's parents, who had always dreamed of a bright future for their son, were furious when they discovered his feelings for Tena. They were shocked, and their reaction was nothing short of harsh. They couldn't understand why Aaron, who had everything, would choose a girl from such humble beginnings. To them, Tena was an outsider, someone who would never fit into their world. Tena is not from a wealthy family. Aaron, his mother, said one evening, her voice tinged with worry. You are destined for someone who can elevate our family's status. She is not the one for you. Aaron's father added with a stern voice. You need to marry someone who is a match for you. Someone who can bring respect and wealth to our family. Tena will only drag you down. But Aaron's heart was unwavering. He didn't care about wealth or status. He cared about Tena. He cared about the way she made him feel, the way her laughter filled the empty spaces in his heart. He cared about her soul. I don't care about any of that, Aaron replied firmly. Tena is the one for me. She's kind, beautiful, and everything I've ever wanted. I don't need their approval. But his parents wouldn't relent. If you marry her, you will be cut off from this family. We will not support you, his father warned. Tena, unaware of the full weight of the decision Aaron was making, was heartbroken when she heard the news. She loved him more than she could ever express, but she didn't want to be the cause of him losing everything: his family, his inheritance, his future. Maybe it's better if we don't marry, she said softly, her voice full of sorrow. I don't want to be the reason you lose your family and your future. You deserve more than me. Aaron's heart shattered at her words. He loved her with all his being, but he couldn't imagine a future without her. Tena, please don't say that. I will never let you go. I don't care what they think. But Tena, understanding the gravity of the situation, made the hardest decision of her life. It's for the best, Aaron. Please don't hate me for this. With a heavy heart, they parted ways. Tena returned to her quiet life in the village, trying to bury the love she felt for Aaron. She focused on her family, on her work, on the small, everyday things that kept her grounded. But no matter how hard she tried, she could never erase him. From her heart, Aaron too continued his work, but he never forgot Tena. He could not escape the love they had shared, no matter how far apart they were. Years passed and Tena lived a full life, though it was never the life she had once imagined. She cared for her aging parents and became known for her kindness in the village. Aaron, meanwhile, succeeded in business, but nothing he achieved ever brought him the joy he had felt when he was with Tena. He tried to move on, but there was always a void in his heart. Then, one fateful day, Tena's father became gravely ill. The village doctor was unable to help, and Tena was left feeling helpless and desperate. Word of her father's illness spread quickly, and Aaron, upon hearing the news, did what he felt was right. He rushed to her side. He brought medicine, food, and supplies for her family, doing everything he could to help. Is there anything I can do? Aaron asked, his voice full of concern, as he knelt beside Tena. Tena, overwhelmed by his presence, simply shook her head, tears brimming in her eyes. You've done more than enough already, Aaron. I can't thank you enough. As the days passed, Tena's father slowly regained his health, and during that time, Tena and Aaron spent more time together. Their bond, which had never truly faded, began to blossom again. Yet, they both knew the truth no matter how strong their feelings were. The reality of Aaron's parents still loomed over them. As Aaron left for the city once again, he made a promise. I'll return for you, Tena. I'll do whatever it takes to make you mine. Tena could only nod, knowing the challenges they would face. But in her heart, she held on to hope that maybe, just maybe, love could conquer all. Years later, Aaron returned, this time with a heart full of purpose. I'm not leaving without you this time, Tena, he declared. And so, against all odds, they built a life together. They married in a small ceremony, surrounded by their closest friends and family. Though Aaron's parents never approved, their love was strong enough to carry them through. They had children, and their love only deepened with each passing year. Tena and Aaron lived their lives knowing that no matter the trials they faced, their love would always be enough. And as they grew old together, they never stopped fighting for each other, never stopped loving each other, and so they lived happily ever after. Their love stronger than any obstacle the world could throw at them. The end. Thank you for watching this beautiful tale of love and sacrifice. If you believe in the power of love, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with others who need to hear this inspiring story. Don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you never miss a new story from us. Stay tuned.